Well, hello, my sweet, beautiful people. How the heck are you? Welcome back to the channel. It is good to see you as we go through with another season here with our Draft to Glory Goon Squad series. Again, it's one of those things where it's such a weird title now. I saw Steve Dangle make the same joke not that long ago. It wasn't that long ago that Goon meant something different than what it apparently means now. I'm such an old man. That aside, we are ready to go for this season. I was able to set up this team, do what we had to do. So the bottom six still needs a good amount of work, as you would suspect, right? But that top six, man, I mean, we're one piece away. I don't think Ulf Lindstrom's ever going to be that guy. We're going to put him on the top line, see if he can be that guy. But the defense, I mean, is really taking shape. Like, we have the number one in Isaac Maloney, excuse me, which I thought he was going to be like the most difficult type of player for us to get. He still needs some work on the offensive side. Obviously, we have to keep him as a DFD. But if we can continue to get him in a scenario where he's putting up points, we should be golden. I mean, the goaltending is always a toss-up in this damn game, right? Like, we never know for sure. But the team is looking pretty good. And now, obviously, we have a regular season to go through here. I don't know. Maybe we will make the playoffs. I'm intrigued. But it does give me an opportunity to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs again, which I am very much going to take advantage of. Festerini, we had an early conversation about him changing from lefty to righty. He doesn't want to do it. That's fine. But I really like being able to take this opportunity to talk about the Stanley Cup because a lot of times I like bulk record stuff off of, the Twitch streams and everything like that just because it's easier in terms of time. Again, for a series like this, I didn't have the time to do that before other games came out that I wanted to play. So it was one of those weird things where it's like, okay, how is this series going to go? I've made sure to find that extra bit of time by being able to use this as the excuse to talk about the playoffs, which continue to deliver in a lot of ways. Right now, as we're talking, it is the morning of May 28th, 2025. That's right. I'm not talking about like the college basketball Final Four or something like that. We're not that out of date. I'm able to talk directly after these games, and both conference finals right now are at a 3-1 deficit. Florida and Edmonton leading the way. And man, like what can you say about those two teams at this point? I guess we'll start from the Edmonton perspective, right? I talked about their rosters or their roster in general a lot in terms of, and I talked about this in my pre-playoff predictions and what I thought might happen. Like, I viewed the Oilers as like, okay, are they really that much better than they were? Are things going to be different this year? Like, oh my God, Stuart Skinner's looking real shaky. Like, what is going to happen with that team? Like, is the bottom six that much better? Apparently it is. Like, they have done a phenomenal job of, finding the right players that fit that much better. Victor Arvidsson, Kasperi Kapanen, Trent Frederick, getting him from the Bruins and everything, and then still getting those big performances out of cast-offs from other teams. I mean, Evander Kane, like, it was a weird scenario in terms of, like, breaking COVID protocols that allowed the Sharks to get out of that contract. But the Sharks' positive was also a positive for the Oilers because Evander Kane, at least this postseason especially, he's been awesome. Corey Perry as a cast-off, and the fact that he's 40 but still doing what he's doing in the playoffs, and just that idea of him going from, once upon a time NHL, leading scorer, right? I think that's what it was. Maybe it was the 82 points in 81. Maybe I'm thinking of Jamie Benn, but the fact is, like, he was one of the NHL's premier scorers at a time when scoring wasn't all that high. Now here he is at age 40, like, he's half a point a game. He's playing really well. Like, it's crazy. Speaking of crazy, by the way, maybe not the year that we want to finish bottom 5 here, so that's going to be a little bit weird. But I just think those players that they've been able to bring in for the Oilers have done that well because, again, you look at the roster on paper. Like, what do you mean Brett Kulak's on your top defense pair? And I like Brett Kulak, but it is Brett Kulak, right? What do you mean Troy Stetcher is on your second pair? What do you mean John Klingberg's on your third pair? Like he was done with the injuries that he had when he was with the Leafs and everything. He was done. It's just crazy. The Oilers did a really good job of going from we are the team with the greatest high-end skill of having Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard's the best offensive defenseman in the league. And they've done a really good job of surrounding that where they failed in the past. They've done a really good job of surrounding that with the land of the misfit toys type of things. Holy hell, are we winning games lately, by the way, with the deadline coming up. Not that we can trade. They've just done a really good job of kind of molding a different identity and finding those players that fit the mold really well of, being able to play both sides of the puck, but especially finding some offensive contributions, because that is something that the Oilers have really struggled with. My opinion, at least, is having that consistent bottom six, right? It was almost Leafs-like of, okay, if our high-end guys aren't scoring, who's scoring? But you look at certain players this postseason, and that has not been as big of a concern for the Oilers, which is unexpected, but also nice to see because, again, I'm not going to sit here and say, if I had to choose who was my number one choice to win the Cup this year. Actually, then again, it might be Edmonton at this point. It might be, now that I think about it. I mean, especially, too, it's never a bad thing to see the best player in the world be in a scenario to potentially win a Stanley Cup, right? That's never a bad thing. But just that element of those other players, doing what the Oilers have desperately needed their players to do for a while now, right? Again, I mentioned Evander Kane and Corey Perry and Connor Brown and Vasily Podkolzin have been able to chip in. I think Podkolzin only has a goal, but you get the point. And then there's Dallas, who just cannot score, which is crazy because it's Stuart Skinner on the other side. And all of this because the Oilers got the wake-up call being down 2-0 to LA. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then they beat Vegas in 5, and now they might beat Dallas in 5 as well and go to the Stanley Cup final for the second year in a row. It's bonkers, genuinely. Just wild to see. Do I think Dallas is totally dead in the water? I'm not willing to count them out yet, but it does have the similar feeling to the Eastern Conference matchup where it's, okay, we thought you were a legit contender until you actually ran into the super legit contender, which is unfair because Dallas did beat Colorado and Winnipeg to get here. So it's unfair. Dallas is the legitimate contender, but it just seems like Edmonton has the different level, similar to the Panthers, right? Being up 3-1. Congrats to Carolina for finally winning a game in the conference final, but are they going to be able to reverse sweep the Florida Panthers? That would be one of the most unpredictable endings to a series ever, really. It really does, and obviously certainly looks like we're going to get Edmonton and Florida round 2, and that's must-watch hockey. Now, putting a pin in that for the moment, because as you've been looking at here, we are very much in the playoff mix right now. It's not a guarantee because if you look at points percentage, we're technically 5th in our division right now, right? Especially, too, when you have that big of a gap of games. We've played 6 more games than Atlanta so far. It's not a guarantee, but if we keep winning games here, we do have a shot. So we take on Buffalo, who are a very good team this year. They beat us 7-6. Hartford up next. They're also over 500. I'm intrigued to see where we are. I mean, yeah, we're already down to 3rd. We're behind the Sirens. Hartford is another loss. Oh, man. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, that we're going to get close to making the playoffs, but still miss out. It might honestly be a bad thing. I mean, we got 1 game left this season, to get it up to 47 with it being a 48-team league. And yep, just like that, we're down in the 5th. Had a feeling. We got the Winnipeg Jets, who are a bad team this year. To round things out, we do win, but it feels highly unlikely, right? The Sirens still have freaking 3 games left. We got a couple of days. We probably have as much of as a week before we find out who's going to make the playoffs here. And there we go. We do find out that we did not make it. Yeah. 23, 20, and 4. We are improving. We might be improving a little bit too quickly. We end up finishing 4th in our division, but look at how close it was, man. Atlanta's the only team to make it. Only 13 points of separation between the 6 teams. Like that's crazy. That is an incredibly close division. In the East, Buffalo makes it, and you see, again, just how they were able to pull away. Montreal not really doing much this year. Central Division, both Utah representatives, the Yeti and the Mammoth, end up making it. Out of the West Division, the Burnaby Chings and the Honolulu Huskies, who just continue to be so damn good. In a pretty weak division, mind you. Peg City Penny Pinchers and the Florida Panthers both make it. I mean, they just ran roughshod over that division, really. I mean, 7 wins is a massive, massive difference when there's only 47 games. Hartford Bambies going back to the playoffs. The Hamilton Wolverines were terrible. Central Division, the Salt Lake City Dragons and Edmonton Oilers have both made it. In another, not competitive division. And the Alaska Ice Eagles. I mean, yeah, for the most part, aside from our division, there was not much competitiveness there. You had 3 teams eclipse the 90-point mark, and Colorado was the unfortunate team. So, yeah, anything above a 75. But look at that. I mean, Atlanta in our division, 73 points. They made the playoffs and were the lowest-ranked team to do so. So, there you go. In terms of our boys, though, what a season for one Pete Walters, who now has Gold Schneip. That's huge. That is huge to get a power forward. Gold Schneip, he's got Tip Jar all alone. Like, he is a true goal scorer. Not to mention total eclipse with Tip Jar, which is crazy. We need to work not only on his shooting abilities, his shooting frequency. We need him to be shooting the puck a ton. He did take over 200 shots again this year. Shot 20%. Outstanding. Almost a goal a game. 44 goals in 47 games. Liam Pugh behind him. God, it loads so slow. What happened? Like, I have a joke, like, what happened to the optimization? And people will be like, what optimization? Look, it wasn't this bad at the start of the year. Look at how long it takes for that to load. Liam Pugh, also now with the gold. He's got gold third eye. So we have our playmaker in Pugh. We have our sniper in Walters, which is huge. Ethan Belchet's not too bad, 50 points. Still has 3 silvers. 46 points for Magnus Lundberg, who also has gold third eye. Salonen on 39 points. Colborne on 32. And it drops off from there. Lindstrom especially, man, 10 points. You were on that top line. You had 10 points. That is horrific. Defensively, Maloney now with gold stick 'em up. Kind of hoping it would be third eye to help out the offense, but 34 assists in 47 games. He's looking great. Ruchin now has silver third eye as well. Again, this team is developing really, really well. I do wonder if we got a little bit too good too quickly and that we're not going to be able to find those missing pieces that we clearly still have, but time will tell there. Connor Bedard in Buffalo led the league in scoring. And then some of the usual suspects, William Nylander, Felix Pox, Dylan Gunther, over 100 points. And then, Pox, 71 goals in 47 games played. There's no way it's not a 0 out of 15 shot pass slider. 252 shots is ridiculous, really. Defensively, Cale Makar, a couple versions of Quinn Hughes. That sounds about right. Makar continuing to crush it for Toronto. Goalie-wise, the winningest, Jacob Fowler. And old Jack Ivakovich for the Burnaby Chings. We love Jackie. Who was the shutout leader? A bunch of guys with 4, including Josh Ravensbergen. And for save percentage amongst starters, Aaron Frankel continues to crush it. For the rookies, looks like it's going to be Dave Ward, the Ottawa Charge. Jonah Neuenschwander was up there as well. Here, Cohen Baker, just the plus minus is going to kill any chance they have of winning the Calder. So, did our AHL team make the playoffs? No, they did not. Okay, well, hey, it is what it is, isn't it? That is okay. But we did pretty well for ourselves. Speaking of pretty well, man, the Atlanta Flames up 8-3 on the Utah Mammoth. crazy with this playoff format, how one-sided some of these results are. Edmonton knocks out the Penny Pinchers 9-7. Case in point. So we have the Bambies and Oilers. A couple other matchups there. Florida, Burnaby, of course, still alive. Let's see what happens here. I thought we'd get games. Results, please. There we go. 8-6 and 5-3 in playoff games. Good Lord. 8-3 and 4-2. I didn't expect these games to be so high scoring. Atlanta falls 11-10. The Oilers win 12-5 over the course of 2 games. And that brings us to Florida, Edmonton, and if I'm not mistaken, Utah and Buffalo into the Final Four. Got Buffalo and Florida leading, and your one-game championship round, Florida and Buffalo. Okay, so 2 of the rare teams to be named, of course, after actual franchises. But the 3 seed from the East, it is Buffalo going up against Florida. Technically not the East, but Florida as a wild card team, Buffalo as well, for that matter. Both making it to the one-game playoff, and the winner of the championship this year is going to be the Florida Panthers over the Ontario Reign. Poor Connor Bedard makes it all the way to the final, and it didn't matter, as Florida beat them 5-4. I want to take a look at the box score for that one. Florida, a perfect 5-0 in the playoffs. The fact it can only take 5 games to end up winning the whole thing is kind of crazy, but led by Tisha Ginla. 2 goals in that game. And let's see. Who else? Kempe, Benson, Felix Pox, of course. I mean, it makes sense. And Slukinski. I mean, he was awful, too. He 79 in that game. Doesn't matter. Florida Panthers, off the back of a crazy second period, end up winning the, oh my God, can I back out, please? End up winning. Do we want to call it the Stanley Cup? I don't know what we want to call it, but they end up winning the championship this year. Obviously, we need to take a look at the awards, and we'll see where the hell we end up being for the lottery. I don't know what that's going to look like. There you go. Second time in 4 years now that the Panthers have won the Cup. In terms of the individual awards, Connor Bedard wins the Art Ross as well as the Hart Trophy. Cale Makar wins another Norris. Calder to Neuenschwander. That's a bit surprising, but I can see it. Pox wins the Conn Smythe. Of course, Aaron Frankel wins Goalie of the Year. Masterton, the Jack Adams Award goes to Buffalo's head coach. Matty Beniers wins another Selke, 3rd time in 5 years. And then Connor Bedard and Felix Pox, well represented all the way to the final. As I don't know if we're going to have anybody here in the AHL that is even recognizable at this stage. We got a dude whose team logo isn't even popping up. I don't think that's Sergei Bobrovsky because it's a defenseman. Etu. That's Eric 2, right? So we at least know who that is. And then Ivan Morozov is up there. But it's a lot to keep track of in this fictional fantasy land of a world. Lottery luck, we probably won't have any. Meaning we're kind of in a weird spot for the draft. And indeed, no lottery luck for us. There was luck for Arizona. Of course, we weren't able to move up that far. We will have the 22nd pick in the first round. I'm not even going to bother looking at the draft class to see what might be going on. In terms of retired players, Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, Seth Jones is gone, amongst numerous others there. And goal, Linus Allmark, Charlie Lindgren, and one of many Connor Ingrams. I don't even know how many Connor Ingrams there ended up being. It was an absurd amount. All right, let's see if we can do some damage here. It's been a couple not so exciting drafts in a row, but maybe, just maybe, we will have, it's funny that those 2 logos are back to back. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have somebody here for us. It's probably going to be a medium 6 or something like that. Case in point, Victor Kolesnik, the power forward, is our likely target, but let's take a look here. So Goalie-wise, only guarantee is Moises Kamachi out of Switzerland. What about defensively? We got some toss-ups. Ted DeBoer, Braden York. Potential low elite. There is a medium 4. Now, in fairness, I'm not double-checking for player type yet. We'll do that shortly. I just want to see kind of what the full list might be. It's a little bit easier to just kind of go full steam ahead and then double-check what the list would be after the fact. Hoping for a high 9 or 2, but that doesn't seem likely. But, all right, there's a 3 out of 4, potentially a grinder. That's not too bad. Okay, so let's double-check that list. For the centers, 4 out of 5 were playmakers. Horrific. Left wing side, we get 1 option. That's Kolesnik. Right wing side, maybe a couple more options. Defensively, we get 2 potential options, and then the goalie, Kamachi. Now, Kamachi's 5 years out. It's not looking good. Let's call a timeout here as well, just in case. Those defensemen that we added to our board were projected way down the order. Nikita Kapitanov, especially the 19-year-old, 4 years out, Darius Marco for Lethbridge, What about right wing side? We do have 1 dude projected sometime soon. It's Roberto Janisevsky. Grinder, apparently, 3 years out. It's not too bad. And then Noah Stasiak and Adan Menino. Left wing side, it was just Victor Kolesnik. He's got a couple of Bs in there, 3 years out at age 17. And then center, Angelo Schoenmakers. Potentially 3 years out. It's got to be Kolesnik. It's got to be. Next projected up. We need another big-time forward. He could go straight to the top line next year. Victor Kolesnik is the guy. And yeah, 66, medium 6. That's not bad. I can't imagine anybody else was available that we might have actually wanted to take. I cannot imagine that we made a big mistake there. Kamachi was a 47, for example. Scrolling through this kind of quickly, but I'm literally only looking at potentials. I pretty much only need to know if there's a medium elite, And I don't think that's going to be the case. Is there anybody with a higher potential, maybe a higher overall, but anyone with a higher potential than who we drafted? That answer is going to be no. That answer is going to be no. So all things considered, I think we did pretty good for ourselves. Next round. Who do we still have on the board? We got 4 dudes, including Stasiak, who is the logical next choice. I mean, unless we want to go for somebody off the board that we don't know as much about, like Leeson down here out of Ukraine. Maybe, right? Let's see. Rick Ryan, potentially 3 years out. Just means, a medium or a mid-60 overall. But we have no idea what the potential is going to look like. So it was the same thing for Leeson. Next player type we can even take. There's Clarence Bitts, 4 years out at 18. If we're going to take risks, I'd rather do it later, So let's go for another forward. Noah Stasiak, the 19-year-old. And we will hope that he is half decent. What choice do we really have? 60 overall, medium 9. It's okay. It's okay. There might have been somebody better, but it just would have been a toss-up on who we selected in the first place. After this, I think we can make this work that we take Menino, Marco, and Kapitanov in order. So Adan Menino, low 6. 62 overall. Again, not great, not awful. Ooh, we missed out. We did miss out on a dude. Marco, oof. I mean, in fairness, we needed the forward more than we needed the defenseman, and he's also only a medium 4 and a 50. Yeah, it's okay. But pick 166. We could technically take somebody now and then take Kapitanov afterwards. There's Matt O'Donnell, 4 years out at 18. It's not too bad, I guess. Dominic Flynn, 4 years out at 20. Jesus. Neil Foy, 5 years out at 19. I think you can see where this is going. Joe Lombardi, 4 years out at 18. How about this grinder, Cody Alonco, 4 years out at 19. Oh, boy. What about Mr. George Helms, the Jorge Helms, if you prefer? Yeah, it's not looking good. Let's just take Capitan off, I guess. If it'll load. There we go. Nikita, you're our guy here. Low elite, 59 overall, 19 years old. You could do worse. And we will over the course of these last 3 rounds. This isn't going to go very well. Again, we still need way more forward help than defensive help. So, forwards. We barely know anything about Ludwig Lundberg. Except for like his player type, I guess. Bouchard, 6'3", 202. I mean, we don't even know if they're going to be available. What about Esa Olivara, 6'3". I mean, it is somewhat reliable. Dude, there's so many players where we just have no idea. Okay. Well, when in doubt, look who is huge. 6'5" is the best weight. Excuse me, 6'5" is the best height, of course. So in terms of weight, Mark Fichaud is there. Anybody else at 6'5" then? I mean, Ludwig Lundberg's one of the biggest guys left in the draft. Screw it. Let's take him. I mean, medium bottom 6. It could have been worse. Honestly, we're blind guessing at this point. We need forwards to fill out this roster. Let's see who else we might be able to get here. Who else is huge? Alexander Kuznetsov, but he's 20. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Let's see. Again, pretty much go by weight. It was a younger player. Yeah, Mark Fichaud, Halifax. Low bottom 6 enforcer. In fairness, I probably could have looked to see where he was projected to go, but I honestly don't think it's going to make too much of a difference here. And then we have Michel Travers, but again, we need forwards. All right, out of these 3, Guy Oulet is going to be the guy. Ended up being a 2-way, even at that height. Okay, well, I don't think we missed out on much. Like I said, the draft is so tough. Like, we can only reliably get one decent player per year at this point. Like, maybe we get lucky with one of these medium 9s or something like that, but it's not looking good. It's not going to look good. It is what it is. The good thing is, of course, no cap. So we don't have an issue keeping this team together. We can pay these guys whatever the hell we want to pay them. Shannon Butler, our first-round pick from last year, will still go another year unsigned, most likely. But, again, we did get some damn good player development. Belch is making $22 million. It's pretty damn funny. But what we'll do is what we pretty much always do. I think we'll get this team set up, ready to go for next time, season at a time. And I'm thinking next year is the first year that we make the playoffs. Until next time, though, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. As always, shout out especially to my lovely, lovely channel members who you probably know by the time you're listening to this, you got yourselves a nice little jump start on something else that I'm going to start messing around with here on this channel in the near future for everybody else. But hey, you want to support what I do here, and of course get that early access. It's the best thing I can really kind of promise people is, hey, you get access to this stuff first, and hey, a big thank you and appreciation from me. Then yeah, you have the ability to do so. Your hint is nothing.